Hi, my name is Chuck Clark. I do a YouTube channel called Trees of Conflict. And today I want to try and clarify. I did 2 videos talking about the white horse, and the white horse continued. And in both of them, people tell me that they really couldn't get the gist of what I was trying to say. And I understand it. It's, great ships don't turn on a dime, that they need a long way to be able to turn around. And the same with us. We've been having a certain way of thinking that, I know for me, has permeated a lot of my thinking, the rapture scenarios and all these things, which we know have basis and are true, but when, where, and all that are now seems to be unfolding to us. And what's different this time really is COVID, basically, the setup. There's been many antichrists and many areas where people thought this was the end, and surely this was it. And the idea of expectation and to be watchful has been from the beginning. Jesus told us that now is the time, that the evil one is coming, and that has nothing to do with him. And the war in heaven probably really began, even though it's been going on since the garden. The 2 seeds fighting with each other has been going on all that time, and we're given several examples of it. The Exodus with from Egypt, which is a type of the world, if you will, and it's all given to us for this Exodus and the final one. The Bible is full of it, of the restoration of God's people from the beginning. We fell, and we confess that fall and allow God to restore us, if you will, and restore our spirit and our mind. And the flesh itself, the flesh has to die, and only God can really do it. So it's the same battle from the beginning. And now I want to try and clarify a little bit better. Somebody gave me some scriptures about the white horse that I liked this morning. Zechariah 6:1-5. And it talks about chariots of horses and the different colors. And it says these are the 4 winds, or the 4 spirits, of the earth that go through the earth. So in Revelation 6, and we're looking at the 4 horsemen, it is those going through. And the white horse, I don't want to, no man knows, and anybody, they talked about people that overcame the faith of some, saying that that these things were past. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to be a false prophet. I can see certain things, but I'm usually ahead of time. And God is patient, and He knows the way we are. 2 Thessalonians talks about that, and they, He had to write a second to tell them that no, it's not yet. That these things need to happen first. The great falling away and that man of sin be revealed. And people took that a little differently, that he that now letteth will let until he be taken away. And we all thought that we would go with him, and then we linked it up to Revelation 4, and that's what's going on. And I'm not saying it can't be. I'm just saying that there's a good chance it's not that way, and that this is really the time, and it'll be of God's choosing. And I'm watching my time a little bit. and that we can be comforted in these things. It's not about fear other than the fear of the Lord. And I've given you Daniel 8, 9 through 14 as what's going on in the earth now. I woke up today with 2 Thessalonians 22, which is David's song, and it starts with like 2 going on, and it compares Job's Leviathan. 41 talked about 41:20 talks about the smoke of Leviathan's nostrils, and then in David's song, the smoke coming out of the nostrils is God's nostrils, and the fire comes out of his mouth. So in 2 Thessalonians, when we see the destroyer having his time, that it's God through our enemy, because he is the destroyer. In Revelation also, this great firestorm and things that take place on the earth are, all God, but usually God uses different elements, and we can be safe from those things if we abide in him and keep our eyes on him as these storms are rolling through. Revelation, I'll lose my point there. Revelation 6:2 through 11, I believe we will see, and probably now we're probably watching it. We want to avoid verses 12 on through 17, and that's where the stars, the moon, and all them are taken away in the darkness, and the change of the dispensation. And we want to be free from those. We want to be safe from those things, and I believe we can. That either way we can be saved through those things. Luke 21 says, "Not a hair shall fall," except that we do it willingly. That we offer ourselves to God, and then we don't have to worry about what we're going to say. He says the words will be given to us. So our job is to love each other. Really, that's the one thing that is very difficult. And in Samuel, they wanted a king, and God told Samuel, it's not you that they're rejecting, it's me. And Samuel said, okay. Then he continued his ministry and anointed Saul, and then he was sad, and then he had to give up on Samuel, and then anointed David, and then needed to be kind of fearful about Samuel, because Samuel went to a different spirit. He would get involved in the flesh, and we too can fall into these things, and my job is to follow God and do what he says, not to judge Samuel or anyone, but to honor God and praise him and to speak of his greatness. So I'm going to have to end it here. I think I'm going to call this the Great Horse Roundup, maybe, something to that effect, that I want to leave people with God, that we have God and we can rejoice in him and be in his spirit and with each other. And I'll pass with that now. I'm at 9 minutes. So may God bless you, and till we meet again.